Morning, this is the Granite Mountain Trail, and I'm going to break here about halfway up to talk some anime.
Captain Harlock, The Endless Odyssey. Captain Harlock, The Endless Odyssey is the latest animated installment in Leiji Matsumoto's sprawling tales of space pirate Captain Harlock, though the Harlock name sports an unfamiliar English spelling this time around. The 2003 sci-fi anime fantasy OVA is distributed in North America by Genion. The space pirate Captain Harlock is a pirate of honor, wanted throughout space and feared by most everyone. The character goes back to the 1950s, and the continuity is slippery to say the least. You can carry what you know about the characters' personalities between different stories, but don't try to drag the details of their past histories with them. Take each of these tales on its own. The Endless Odyssey isn't going to waste a lot of time filling in Harlock's background or personality anyway. It'll just assume you know at least a little something about the character. In this tale, Harlock and the Arcadia haven't been seen in space in some time. In fact, there are rumors spreading throughout the galaxy that the captain himself is dead. Many of the Arcadia's former crew have been out pirating the galaxy on their own, however. Most notable of these is the lovely young pirate Kei Yuki, a character returning from the series of the 70s. Kei seems to have gotten some fashion tips from Emerald this year. Captain Kei and her band of Harlock alumni run afoul of the law in the form of dedicated Chief Sheriff Alita, who'll stop at nothing to drive pirates from his skies. But the real story begins back down on Earth, where Professor Daiba is researching an ancient tablet that he obtained on a scientific expedition beyond the frontier. He was the only survivor among the scientists on the research ship Fata Morgana. It's something about ancient demons called the New, from a time of the universe's creation. Whatever Daiba has learned from those tablets in his virtual reality research study clearly has him worried. Meanwhile, Professor Daiba's son, Tadachi, is a real slacker. When 4 zombie demons show up at Daiba's place, it's up to Harlock to rescue the kid, not just from the zombies, from an indolent life of simpering desperation.
Learn to treat those that have passed away, holding on to their beliefs, with respect. That is what a real man does. If you want to become a real man, then come aboard my ship.
Naturally, Tadachi is immediately going to ditch his cute girlfriend and set off to follow Harlock into the galaxy. Tadachi swears an oath, and Harlock promises to give Tadachi a chance to fulfill that oath. I think the reason there are so few real men like Harlock in the universe is that they never hang around long enough to procreate. Anyway, it's time for Harlock to return to the Arcadia and get the old gang together again and go. As Harlock says, my best friend wants to sail through space again. And after a few episodes, most of the gang will indeed be there, including Tadachi, Kei, Yataran, Maji, and the mysterious woman, Mime. Demons and zombies may not be Harlock's usual kind of opponents, but this breed of body snatchers have a certain sci-fi cachet to them. They travel around the universe in a spaceship, Professor Daiba's old research ship, the Fata Morgana, in fact, and they shoot big beam weapons. But their biggest weapon is fear. But if they think they can scare Captain Harlock, they have another thing coming. The story unfolds over 13 episodes with Matsumoto's typically deliberate pacing. I'll warn you that the final episode's climax is pure deus ex machina, dips into a fantasy land even more unusual than most Harlock tales, and wouldn't be half as much fun without some cute sentimental cameo appearances at the very end. Finally, the denouement is going to be maddeningly ambiguous. Harlock is the man. He's unflappable, free, and unafraid. He preaches following one's own will and bows to no one. There's no room for doubt or introspection aboard the Arcadia. Tadachi Daiba is the kid who's going to have to do a lot of growing up over the course of this series. At least as Matsumoto defines manhood, the Arcadia is a good place for that, and he's certainly more likable at the end than he was as the simpering brat he started out as. Kei Yuki also has a significant role to play in this series. She's all grown up. Unexpectedly, Emeraldus doesn't appear anywhere in this series. Perhaps she's still off mourning Tochiro. I really enjoyed some of the throwaway characters here as well. For example, at the very start, we meet Professor Daiba in a virtual reality research lab. When he has a personified AI as an assistant, when Daiba's research is shut down and the information is cleaned out, that personified AI gets to stand there and shut down the construct and speculate on the meanings of its existence and whether it had any meaning. It may not have anything to do with the main story, but it was a splendid 60 seconds and a really nice touch in it. Anime director Rintaro's career goes back almost as far as Matsumoto's. He worked on the original Harlock TV series in the 70s, as well as Galaxy Express 39, and he's created such other movies as Dagger of Kamui and Metropolis in 2001. His work here with the Madhouse Studio is really excellent and perfectly captures the spirit of Harlock with a more modern anime veneer. I've said before that Harlock isn't for those who are looking for hard science fiction. Matsumoto's universe is half fantasy with spacefaring steam trains and, in this anime, a space truck that can slide down right out of interstellar space and glide right onto the interstate highway. It's high melodrama in the sea of stars, epic tales and larger-than-life heroes, and rousing visuals. The laws of physics simply are not allowed to get in the way. The character designs of Nobuteru Yuki, best known perhaps for his work on the Lotus War OVAs and Escaflowne. These designs maintain the classic and instantly recognizable Matsumoto look, but add a new depth and shading to their expressions. While Matsumoto created the characters and the story, Sadayuki Mirai wrote the screenplay. He also did scripts for Perfect Blue, Millennium Actress, and more recently Steam Boy and Mushishi. Madhouse's animation is very well done here. They've restrained themselves from imposing too much obvious modern CGI onto the venerable pirate hero and kept it all very low-key. The background music by Takayuki Hitori worked well. There's a nice militaristic-sounding musical piece for the opening that hits all the right heroic high notes as it goes along. The sounds on Genien's release are also a surprisingly nice surround sound for a change. Actually liked Genien's English dub. I found Lex Lang's voice for Captain Harlock had just the right depth and drama. And even on the Japanese soundtrack, they've used a new voice for Harlock in this incarnation.
This flag stands for freedom, and I live for what it stands for.
I give Captain Harlock, The Endless Odyssey, 4.5 stars. This is my favorite Harlock outing since Arcadia of my youth. It's got giant heroes, grand imagery, and epic scope. All the familiar themes that made Harlock so much fun in years gone by, all wrapped in a shiny new box. I will admit, however, that part of my enjoyment for this new series is seeing the characters returning from after 30 years of absence from the original TV series. Those who've never watched the original TV series may just wonder, who the heck is that? Genien has released the entire 13-part series in North America on 4 DVDs, with a 5th DVD included with the final volume for some extras, including storyboards for the first and last episode, and interviews with director Rintaro and creator Leiji Matsumoto.
Thanks for listening.